Throughout the year, I collected all of these magazines, setting them aside, thinking I am going to use those when it comes time to make my vision board. I didn't do it. It is the middle of 2023. We are halfway through the year, and I think that it's finally time to admit that I am not making a vision board this year. The reasons why I didn't do it were manifold, and the reasons why I've decided not to do it for the rest of the year are probably a little bit more nebulous than the reasons that I didn't do it in the first place. The turn of the year from 2022 to 2023 was a really tough time in our household. And I feel like I say that all the time, that we are going through hard times. It's been a difficult week. It's been a hard week. It's been a hard month. But you know what? It has been. At the beginning of 2023, my husband was in the hospital. He had gone into the hospital on Christmas Eve and was there through much of the week between Christmas and New Year's. That week is the week that I always like to spend thinking about my goals and ideals and plans for the new year. I love that week. It is my favorite week of the year because it's when I sit down with a new planner. I start writing out goals. I think about the year that has just passed. I think about the future. I get my life back in order, and you know I love organization and order. That didn't happen this year. I also looked back at my 2022 vision board and I realized that at that point, it still applied. There was nothing on that board in January of 2023 that I didn't still yearn for. If the old board was still perfect, what was the point of making something new just to make something new? I mean, you could argue that I don't know how my needs and desires have changed until I sit down with all of those pieces and parts and cut out the pictures and see which words resonate, and that it may surprise me when I go through the actual exercise and the actual act of making the vision board. And I do believe that that's possible, but the old board just still felt so perfect. When I really started thinking about it, I realized that that first week of the year, or the last week of the previous year, as that's when I usually do these sort of things, is an arbitrary time. As much as we would love for our goals and our dreams in our life to be ideated and worked towards and fulfilled in the course of a single calendar year, that does not necessarily happen. For example, there was a huge section of this 2022 vision board dedicated to travel by train. And at the time I made that, it seemed very far away. But at the beginning of 2023, this year in March, I had the chance to travel across Europe by train with my husband and son. That vision came true, just not in the timeline that I had originally set out for it. These things don't happen on a schedule that we can set. We can look towards what we want. We can have a very clear view of what we desire, but we don't always control the exact timeline. And some goals are harder to reach than others. Some require more planning than others. Some require more mental time and capacity than we think they will. There are still pieces and parts of that 2022 vision board that appeal to me. There are parts that I feel like I have really gotten a handle on, that have really become part of my reality. And there are other parts that I'm still working on. And maybe that signals that it is time to make a new board, but I don't think that I want to right now. That seems like a really flimsy reason for not doing the exercise, doesn't it? Maybe the next time I have a down week, the next time I am in that planning mode, I will come back and I will make myself a new vision board. And at that point, I will be ready to commit to some new goals and to envision a different sort of life. I'm not right now. Right now, my life is about survival, about finding joy where I can find joy. Now that I think about it, maybe I'm just not ready to envision the future this year. This didn't turn out how I expected. It never does it? I should have written a script in advance. Oh, you guys, until next time, I'm wishing you love and joy and all those good things. And I can't wait to talk to you again.